Hey everyone, Mickey 17 is the latest film from director Bong Joon Ho, known for Parasite, and it stars Robert Pattinson in this futuristic, thought-provoking story about cloning and identity and human survival. This film, it takes us to a starship where humanity is attempting to establish a colony on a far-off ice planet. And in so doing, it raises some really fascinating questions about what it truly means to be human. Before we jump into this review, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more because YouTube really is a beast. Thank you so much. Mickey 17 follows the story of Mickey Barnes, a down on his luck guy who is desperate to escape life on Earth because he has racked up this unpayable debt with a loan shark. So he signs up to become an expendable to get a spot on the next ship going off planet. In this future world, expendables are workers who sign up for high risk missions. And whenever they die, their consciousness and their memories are transferred into a newly printed body. Essentially, they're clones with a large amount of continuity from life to life, with each iteration preserving most of the thoughts and experiences of the previous one. As the title suggests, Mickey is now on his 17th iteration. The twist? Well, he doesn't die as he's expected to die during a mission. Yet, an 18th version of him is printed because the company thinks he's dead. Now there are two Mickeys, which is a serious problem because the rules dictate that only one instance of a person can exist at one time. If duplicates are discovered, they must both be destroyed. As Mickey 17 and Mickey 18 look for ways to survive, they find themselves caught in this web of existential dilemmas, political intrigue, and a clever love triangle, all against the backdrop of harsh realities of life on a frozen, unwelcoming planet. Right off the bat, Mickey 17 is a mix of comedy, existential drama, and hard science fiction. It explores everything from futuristic 3D printing processes to advanced neural networks capable of preserving consciousness and memory, to space travel, alien species, and even the politics of colonization. There's so much packed into this film that it easily could have become an incoherent mess. But somehow, Bong Joon Ho pulls it all together in this cohesive, interesting movie. What makes it work is that it doesn't focus solely on one element of the story. Instead, it leans into the nature of science fiction and it juggles multiple what if scenarios. Like, what if we could print living bodies? What if we could transfer the data from our heads into a neural net? What if we encountered an alien species? And what if society followed a single cult-like leader to another planet? This interconnected web of questions is what makes Mickey 17 such a strong example of thought-provoking science fiction at its best. The thing is, great science fiction isn't always about perfect storytelling. It's storytelling that makes you think and breaks you out of today so that you can imagine tomorrow. And I love when films tackle technology in ways that could be realistic in the future. So I was actually pretty impressed with how Mickey 17 visualizes its futuristic tech. The process of printing a new human uses this massive MRI-like machine that kind of takes waste material and bioprints a fully formed living human body, including functional muscles, bones, and skin, along with everything else a living body needs. A lot of this technology actually exists today, giving us the ability to bioprint parts of human bodies, from functioning muscles to bioceramics for bones and 3D printed skin grafts. The movie is clearly building on these real world medical advances, but takes a leap in being able to print an entire body and implant the memory data of a person into that body's brain. What's different about this film is that it really feels weirdly realistic in how they do it. They also do a pretty good job of mimicking a neural scanning process that can capture a human's personality by copying the data in their brains. Mickey's consciousness is uploaded weekly, so when he dies, the new version of himself can pick up almost where he left off. But there's a catch. Each version of Mickey is just slightly different, suggesting that the printing process isn't perfect. Are these differences caused by flaws in the neural transfer, a slight misalignment of the printing, or does each iteration naturally diverge over time, introducing tiny mutations of personality and behavior? The film raises some really interesting psychological and biological questions in this way. There's this one moment in the film during the printing of Mickey 1 when a technician briefly unplugs and then reconnects a cord. Was this small interruption what caused the glitch in Mickey's printing, leading to slightly divergent personalities for future iterations? Or is the concept of an exact copy inherently flawed? This raises deeper questions about bioprinting human duplicates or expendables. If a printed Mickey isn't perfect, if he isn't a perfect replica, is he really the same person? And if two Mickeys exist at the same time and have different experiences, does this make them distinct individuals rather than copies? This reminds me of the philosophical and ethical dilemmas explored in Star Wars: The Clone Wars, where genetically identical clones develop unique identities based on their personal experiences. The film takes a similar approach, questioning whether nature, memory, and identity are shaped by more lived experience than by genetic or technological replication. This imperfection is what makes Mickey 17 such a compelling exploration of identity. At what point does Mickey stop being Mickey? And if he never truly remembers his death experiences, because really that part of experience never gets saved to his neural net, how does that affect each copy's identity as a Mickey? Worse, what must it be like to never remember what death feels like, despite having everyone around you watch you die repeatedly? And would the repetitive birthing process create any kind of mental trauma over time? These are the kinds of philosophical questions that elevate Mickey 17 beyond just being another science fiction adventure. While the film delivers a fascinating story, it kind of suffers from pacing issues. At 2 hours and 17 minutes, Mickey 17 could easily have been trimmed down by 30 minutes without losing any of its impact. Certain scenes overstay their welcome with humor and absurdity stretching beyond what was necessary. The dinner scene with Mickey and Congressman Marshall, for instance, drags on too long, as do some of the relationship scenes with Nasha and other scenes between Mark Ruffalo and Toni Collette. The result is lots of side characters who only serve as tools for exposition, comedic effect, or to amplify the film's surreal tone. While this isn't a huge complaint of mine, a tighter script would have allowed the film to maintain its intellectual weight with a punch. What really makes this film work is the cast. Robert Pattinson carries this film 100%. In Mickey 17, his performance goes beyond playing twins or people who just look like each other. He's not just playing one character, he's playing multiple versions of the character, who are each subtly different. It's when he is in a scene with himself that you see how well he holds the same character in his head, presenting different personality traits and tics that convey the nuanced personality shifts between the different Mickeys. This film really pushes his range as an actor, and he may be on his way toward quietly becoming one of the great character actors of our time. If another actor had taken this role, I honestly don't know if the movie would have had the same impact. Beyond Pattison, the supporting cast is really strong. Naomi Ackie, who plays Nasha, brings this warmth and energy to the film. She helps to ground Mickey's character, making him more relatable and sympathetic. Stephen Yeun plays Timo, Mickey's highly questionable friend, and though he's not in the film as much as I'd expected, he still delivers a really solid performance. However, guys, please remember that if you ever find yourself in a friendship with a guy like Timo, you might want to find a new friend. Then we've got Toni Collette, who plays Ylfa, the over-the-top wife of former Congressman Kenneth Marshall. She's a calculating leader who controls her husband to a very large degree and has a really weird obsession with food that kind of borders on the absurd. She becomes a foil for almost every other character in the film, heightening the film's comedic level of absurdity. And then finally, we've got Mark Ruffalo, who plays Congressman or ex-Congressman Kenneth Marshall, the failed, power-hungry bureaucrat whose fan base follows him like a cult leader. And honestly, his performance is kind of frustrating. He is so off the chart that his character stretches his credibility, making him look weak and insane at different times. I honestly can't tell if he is a great actor or a horrible actor in this film because his character is so grating. So, is Mickey 17 worth the price of admission? That's the question. And I gotta say, absolutely. If you love thought-provoking science fiction, this film definitely delivers. It's a little absurd, a little serious, and a little technologically wacky, but it also is an intellectual journey that will leave you thinking long after the credits roll. That being said, the film isn't perfect. It's a bit too long, with some scenes that could have been trimmed to tighten up the pacing. There are moments where it leans way too heavily into the visual spectacle rather than storytelling, and some characters could have either been developed or cut. While these are minor issues compared to what the film achieves overall, if you don't like smart, absurdist sci-fi, you really might not like this film. So, Mickey 17, have you seen it? Are you planning to see it? If you have seen it, what are some of your big questions about this film? Because it's definitely one of those thinker films that leaves you with a lot more questions even after the film ends. So let me know in the comments below. And while you're here, please be sure to like and subscribe for more reviews. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. And hey, why not check out one of these reviews before you go? All right, that's it for now. Thanks so much, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye.